hello, everyone, to our daily Limbus company ID study, mirror dungeon, and book reading. Once again, we're back here with G Corp because someone decided the last stream wasn't painful enough to me, and so here we are with G Corp Altis 00 solo ID today. It's gonna be very interesting to run this today. It's gonna be very interesting. But today we are not here to complain. We're here to have a good time and try to beat the mirror dungeon with our funny rules using G Corp Altis. That's still gonna be rough. Well, without any further ado, there's not much to talk about today other than that. It's while we're here, let's take a look at the ID proper and what you can do. This ID is one of the season 1's IDs, so it's not very good. And our attacks all consisted of single coin attacks, which is gonna be difficult on the damage department. But they roll okay-ish. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? Let's get down with it. Right. G-Corp head manager Otis has the sins of sloth, gluttony, and bloom as her skill tree. Her passive is, at a true sloth resonance, she applies true haste to self and allies who are adjacent to this unit on the dashboards of the unit's dashboard. So she just gives a true haste buff for everyone. That's a neat little bonus. Not really what we're going for, but what can you do? True haste is better to have than to not have. Her skill 1 does possess a single level of escalation plus 2 coin power if the enemy has 5 sinking. So this is already a 10 roller below average. It gains 2 more coin power, becomes a 12 roller, and it applies 2 protection to the ally with the slowest speed. Now, what we need to know is that if this is going to apply to ourselves, because we are the only ally in the field. So no idea if it's going to work on ourselves. We're gonna see. Her skill 2, Onslaught Command, it's another single coin one. It has a 16 power, which is average, but it has a very, very low offense level. It applies 1 attack power up to ally with the lowest speed and apply 2 damage up to the ally with the slowest speed. Again, we need to understand if this actually works on ourselves. If it doesn't, well, we only have a 16 attack with no escalation whatsoever. Going to be very painful. And finally, but certainly not least, Focus, a 22 roller, one of the highest rolling skill trees for season 1 IDs, honestly. But again, single coin, very low offense level. It inflicts sinking, a pack power down, and if it's head, it's another sinking. So it applies up to 9. And she has a guard skill that rolls a 13, has a 62 defense level. Quite weak, not really what we're looking for here. If these effects that she can apply from her skill 1 and 2 are applied to her, she can probably do pretty well, but I am not putting my hopes up here. There's a very big chance that we might fail this run today. Not gonna put my hopes on it, but we're gonna try our best. Let's take a look at what eagles she can fuel on her own. She has sloth, she has gluttony, and she has gloom. Her Caesars, of course, don't, because it requires lust and envy, which we do not have. Her Tev is Sun Shower, which requires sloth, which we have, gluttony, which we have, and gloom. We can fuel Sun Shower. That's very nice. Sun Shower, it's quite hard, and it has it gives protection when recovering from the entire game. My point, protection is gonna be very useful. We are not exactly tanky here. Using the Atataru plan, we cannot fuel, but it wouldn't be good anyway. We do not have lust, so it wouldn't be good in any other way. For her he, we have 4 options, starting with Magic Bullet, which I'm sure we can't fuel because it's lust and pride. Ebony's Stand requires lust, gluttony, and pride, which we only have the gluttony for. Dimension Shredder requires envy, and Holiday requires lust, pride, envy, and a mix of everything. And so we come to the problem where we don't fuel our eagle, but we are gonna have to choose by passive. So let's take a look. Holiday gives when apply positive effects to our ally with skill effect or coin effects, select one of the following effects, and apply 1 potency effect, 1 enemy effect. Not very good for us. We don't really apply. Actually, technically it could work, actually. When applying positive effects to other allies with skill effects or coin effects. We need to have allies for this to work. Hello there, my Dezen Hiki, how are you doing? Dimension Shredder gives us more charge count, we don't use charge. Ebony Sten gives us pierce damage up and inflicts bind and rupture count next turn. We don't have pierce, I'm fairly sure. I'm fairly sure we are pure blunt. We'll just check it out. No, we have pierce on our skill 1, but still not very good. And Magic Bullet is for Magic Bullet, we're not gonna use it. Honestly, we're gonna go for Ebony Sten just because it has a bigger AoE. Finally, we have only one choice for WoW, which is Binds. Binds does have does give us resources, which is nice. As long as we can feel it at least once, we can get resources out of it. And it does have a big AoE, which is very nice. Tremor, Amplitude Conversion, Tremor Fracture, which is making enemies lose their Clash Power. I think that's Clash Power. No, it's just Super Tremor. That's right. It's not Clash Power one. I'm confusing with Tremor, the T-Corp Tremor. So there we have it. G-Corp Otis at 0/0 ID that mostly exists to buff other units. If she can self-apply the buff, she can probably have a good time here in the dungeon today, but I'm not putting my faith into it. In any case, let's do the thing around her. The only skill that has a status ailment is thinking on focus, her skill tree. And so we must try and build for survivability once again. Right off the bat, we are going to equip G-Corp Manager Corporal Gregor to give her the healing that we require. We do have Gluttony, so we'll be able to activate that very soon. We are gonna keep Base Merso here for that damage reduction, which is very nice. For Honglu, we could go for K-Corp Honglu again. Gluttony is our skill 2, so it's not going to be an overwhelming majority like G-Corp Gregor, and the healing will be very nice. The other option that we have would be Ting Tang Gang Leader for extra damage. Hook Office would give us I think it's power up against an enemy with bleed, so not very good. S-Corp Chinoku, man, what is this passive? Attack enemies that has bind, deal 10% more damage. Still not beating Ting Tang Gang Leader, sorry. We're gonna go with K-Corp Exigence class, so our survivability is pretty much guaranteed here. Healing on Clash Win, healing passively on Resonance, as long as we don't overdo it, we'll be fine, and a passive damage reduction. For Yisang, I'm gonna go ahead and use Horse again, Heisho Pack Wu Branch, for that strange healing, because, you know, it's defense level and healing. For Faust, we only inflict sinking here, and we could get Heisho Pack for... we don't inflict Rupture, so it wouldn't work. Lobotomy Ego Regret would give us a Clash Power if the ally has 3 types of negative effects, and assuming we're gonna get a lot, that is pretty much guaranteed. But what about Lobotomy Corp Remnant? That is for final power +2 to its defense skills. Only a Lust Resonance, we don't have Lust. House of Spider's Ring Apprentice requires Envy Lust, and it gives bleed when we use a block. Defense skill, we don't have a defense skill that is good, so we're not even gonna bother with it. I'm thinking of leaving Base Faust here, or Wuthering Heights Butler, that is SP healing, right? Yeah, +5 Steel Stress SP on hit, but we don't have an absurd amount of sinking count, so it's not gonna work. Zwei Self-Association is on a Gloom Resonance, we gain defense level up. It is against survivability, I like survivability, so we're gonna go with that. And we're gonna be using our Gloom a lot, so it's a good idea to use it. For Dawn, to give support to this character, we don't generate aggro. We do use sinking, so we could get Heisho Pack Waybrand for defense level downs. We do generate both of these resources, and we do inflict sinking. T-Corp class trees for Clash Power against Tremor, or no, damage reduction against Tremor. Allow the fast speed gains 1 final power to their first skill. +1 power on the first skill doesn't sound like a lot, especially because we are a single coin unit. I think we're gonna stick with Heisho Pack Waybrand, unless this one is for charge, so can't make use of it. Let's go with Heisho Pack Waybrand again, because, you know, very good. For Ryoshu, We don't have Envy, so we can't activate Health Hauler, Mind Hauler, which would be nice. We don't use Poise. We are not gonna get kills that often to get the healing for that. Facial Pack Mal Wrench would give us a lot of haste, which would be very nice. We don't generate Poise, so we can't generate shields from that. This one is just an application of Tremor with our skill 3, but it has to be on a Sloth Resonance, which is our skill 1. We could technically benefit from Tremor Burst a little bit with this, and it would be with our skill 3 as long as we have a Sloth Resonance. I think that would be nice, but that speed bonus on the previous run yesterday was saving our life because we could use our Eagles the first thing in the fight, so we're gonna go with Facial Pack Reroll here for that. Sorry. Moving on to build our team here. Let's see. Wild Hunt Heathcliff does provide some support in terms of extra damage at enemies that have less than 0 SP. It's a little bit of extra damage, but not the best thing in the world. We could use Kurokumoko and Wakashu for that extra damage. Facial Pack would give us a Clash Power and low on health. And we are not Gregor this time, so we don't have insane amounts of health regeneration. We are playing nice and safe here. So I think I'm gonna go with the Facial Pack to get that Clash Power. We still do not have any SP heal, but honestly, we're not going for SP heal. We're gonna go for the Zwei Association on both Sinclair and what's it called? And Ishmael for the defense bonuses. As for Rhodia, we do have Zwei Association Self-Protection 5, but it's only for a Wrath Resonance, which is very weird. LCB Assistant Manager gives us more damage against enemies doing defense at 20% more damage, which is okay. This is more Clash Power against Tremor, I believe. Clash Power against enemies that have 5+ Tremor. Facial Pack Seed Wrench, Lobotomy Eagles to attract the Tears. Our Corp for Pack Reindeer is for sinking, right? Skill can charge unique charge and have a pack of inflict sinking, deals more damage. Nope. We might just keep base Rhodia for the damage up. DHCS Self Association. But it has max speed gains blunt damage next turn based on the damage they took this turn. Max blunt damage gained by the effect 3 times. That's a 30% damage bonus. And we're gonna get hit a lot, but we don't have shields. Yep, nope, base Rhodia once again, it's base Rhodia. That is our survivability team, because we're gonna have to survive. We're gonna have to make the best we can. We don't have much in the of extra damage here at all, but, well, except for Rhodia here, but she is a single coin character, which is going to be a weird little mirror dungeon today. Expect to be a long one, so let's give a quick review then. We have the Facial Pack Wood Wrench Adapt Yisang to give us the strength heal that he has based on speed differences, and together with Mao Branch Ryoshu, which will be giving us haste every turn. It's going to proc a very powerful, very often. It only activates once per turn, so once per combat, so we're not gonna necessarily rely on overly much. But we have 3 Zwei Association IDs here, providing us with very good defense bonuses. We have Facial Pack Dawn to give us defense level down, Merso with the damage down, receiving less damage, K-Corp Home Glue giving us a massive heal when we do a Gluttony Res of 4. We have Facial Pack Heathcliff giving us a extra Clash Power and low on HP. We could probably change this to something else, but I don't know what. Based Heathcliff is 10% more blunt damage, and 2 of our attacks are blunt damage, so that will be a 30% damage bonus. Wild Hunt is more damage against enemies with low standing, but we only have a single skill that inflicts sinking. And Corp Flying Hammers for Fanatics. This is the meme, if I recall correctly, is just lose stance speed when hit by an attack and gain 1 blunt damage up next turn once per turn, so it's 10% damage up for being low on HP. Low on SP, which we don't want to because we're a single coin ID and we don't really have the luxury to do that. One clash power. One clash power. Middle brother doesn't have anything that isn't for the middle, so yeah, not good, not good, not good. For the harpooner, gives us a little berserk pierce damage, but it's not very good. Multi-crack is for charge, summon association is for rupture, full stop is for bullets, this is against defense, sinking. Yeah, I guess we're gonna stick with the Hazel Pack, or take base hit clip for an extra damage bonus, which I think it was 10% more damage for blunt, which is over half of our attacks. Yeah, let's go with base hit clip, honestly. Two of our attacks are blunt, one of them is pierce, so we're gonna go with that. That's our thing, not much to talk about here. This is a very old S1 Season 1 ID, so there is really nothing much to talk about it. It's an ID of all time, it's a true star ID, not much to talk about it. Alright, with the thing ready and ID study complete, let's go through these Trial of Suffering and see what we can do. Before we start, of course, we're gonna review our rules of the dungeon. Starting off, no Grace of the Stars at all. That means we don't get to reroll packs, we don't get to fuse with wishmaking, no Grace of the Stars, no Starlight usage, no Pack Reroll, no starting Eagle gift, making sure that our Eagles that we get are completely random, no healing on shops, no reviving, a maximum of 5 Sinners deployed, but since this is a solo run, we're only going to deploy 1. If a Sinner dies, that is game over, except that we're doing a solo run. We have 3 lives to retry a single fight. Counted over here. Look at that. Very nice. So we have 3 lives. In a fight, we can retry a fight 3 times. If we lose all 3 times, we finish the dungeon and it's game over. That is all for our rules of the dungeon here. So let's deploy and get started. I swear, whoever recommended this, I already did a G-Corp run before, not with these rules, but very similar. I almost selected the gift out of conditioning. Very similar before. It was okay, wasn't the best thing in the world, and we had gifts. Hopefully we'll go better than yesterday, but I'm not, you know, not counting, not expecting much here. All right. To be Pierced has crabs, Direct to the Matter has butlers, and Unloving has neighbors. The Unloving is still a little bit easier than To be Pierced. And we do have Horfrost here. It will allow us to apply sinking to the enemies, which is very nice. And that's about it. Honestly, I would prefer to get Echoes of the Manor, but again, that would require us to fight butlers. And butlers are very, very dangerous for us. So we're gonna have to unfortunately give up on this. If we had a full team, this would be fine, or at least a duo, but with just a single Sinner, we're not gonna attempt to Direct to the Matter, especially because it's Otis, Bugger Otis. All right, here we go. First fight of the day. Let me put that health counter over there. Very nice. Only deploying G-Core Head Manager Otis, and here we go. And right away, we get these guys. G-Corp Otis is fatal to Blunt and Lust and Envy. These guys are all Sloth, Pierce, or Blunt. Fuck. It's happening again. It's all Blunt attacks, isn't it? No, 2 Blunt attacks and 1, the rest is Pierce. We're gonna clash against 1 Blunt attack and do the best we can. And the best we can is not very good. Fortunately, this is a very sanity-dependent ID. Right, we have 2 attacks now. Keep going. We don't have any Eagle to change our damage resistances yet, and we don't have any healing rolling yet. So we're in danger. We're in very real danger right now. And I do believe she's applying protection to herself, so this might go a little bit better than I imagined it was going to be. Maybe, just maybe. Right? Is it once? Who's gonna escalate on her damage? Nice. And stagger. All right, if she can survive a wave of attacks. Not putting much faith into that, but that hurts. That hurts. Again, no eagle to change their damage resistance. They use sloth and they use blunt, so it's rough out here. By the way, I got the property for losing lives open here in case we need it. All right, survive. Very good. No, not yet. Not yet. We need the high ground ampules to survive, so we're gonna go ahead and use a 4 resonance right off the bat. Right. We got our max sanity now. Our clashes are stronger now. Good. It's very nice to know that she can power herself up. If she couldn't power herself up, this would be the most painful, one of the most painful streams I've ever done. Maybe not as painful as Sinclair, John Office Sinclair. Hello, Tuta Tuta, how are you doing? By the way, I have a little surprise for us once we get to the 100th daily stream, where I am going to make a little overlay. Because I had mentioned last stream we have a problem with the, the way that I made this entire thing is that I'm using something, I'm stretching the aspect ratio a little bit. But I fixed that. It's looking very good. I'm preparing it, and soon it's going to be deployed. I am liking this. You know what? If she can survive long enough, this is pretty good. To get plenty of buffs. The problem is, all of her skills are single coins. Indeed, all of her skills are single coins. These buffs to herself. The longer a fight goes on, the more buffs she applies, the more powerful she becomes, even without eagle gifts. The problem is her low starting damage. So this is gonna, for a solo run, she's gonna ramp up in damage. The problem is with this ramping up of damage is that, it's all single coins. It's all single coins. Hello, project. How's it going? It's just started. We just did a review on her real quick. We checked out what team she's using, mostly for survivability, and she is surviving the first turn. This is literally the first battle. And much like Gregor last time, this is a ID that is fatal to blunt and fatal to sloth because of her, and she exploded. Well, I made a mistake. Well, that is one of her lives gone. Here I was talking high praise to her, and then she just goes and explodes, huh? Thank you, Otis. Good old K-Corp Ampule. I can only do it once. I gotta pay attention to my gluttony rests. One mistake amongst many successes. But now we know that the most important thing that we know is that she applies the buffs from her skill on herself, and that is what's going to make her win this, hopefully, maybe. Just most likely, Go with protections for now. 40 protection, not bad. 40% damage reduction. Surviving. Let's keep surviving them. We need healing though. We need 4. Now I have to survive another turn before we can get our green. I'm gonna get started. I bought another cigar. Usually I don't smoke 2 days in a row, but it's very, very cold. And Brazil is not meant to be cold. Brazil is meant to be hot. And so my mood has been in the dump because my dog's waking me up at night. So I am going to enjoy another cigar. Also, I'm hungry. I didn't eat dinner yet. Got a new rodeo, level her to 16 up type 4, started stream cultivation, got through the minigame thing, and ran out of time for often streaming. Honestly, they were really cool. Oh, the minigame for that for that is really, really cool. I'm glad you're gonna enjoy. You're gonna have a good time. All right, we're about to get staggered. We're about to get staggered, so we're gonna go ahead and power ourselves up with protection, so we reduce the incoming damage from the stagger. And stagger. Nope, not yet. Come on. I actually prefer if you guys staggered me now. There we go. My friend is we made a person buy 40 pulls, and on the last time they got Ting Tang Lu and both banner IDs. Ting Tang Lu is a very good thing to get because of his passive, man. But I'm not gonna gamble. I'm not a gambling person. Because, well, I'm saving up for Walpurgis. Support passive men before single core woman today, and we have the running up 4-5 with a full meal team now. Well, Moises, you're gonna rock it. You're gonna destroy them. Make no mistake, the middle is incredibly powerful right now. All right, we survived our staggering. It's now time to deal some damage back. It's time for punishment. And it's time to get our health back too, because we need that. Hell yes. Look at that power up. She gets 100% damage up if she uses a lot of green. We're only using a lot of greens, are we gonna die? Right, we got our health back. If we use 4 green resonance again, we die. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that damage up in check, okay? Can do a damage up right now without destroying ourselves. That's good. Really wish I could have gotten Echoes of the Manor, man, but it would have been impossible for her to get past the buffers. She's not built for fighting buffers. The bleed would have killed her. Alright, we can use 3 greens for the damage up. Look at her go! She's ramping up. Of course, these enemies are resistant to our type of damage, but she's ramping up. I like it. That's pretty interesting. And this is because we have this Y backing us up. Once we get the actual passives rolling, she's going to benefit a lot from the tankiness they are going to provide. I'm tired of this sound effect because we're gonna hit it a lot. So we get try and encounter 3 times only, which is the little we have over there, like this was a platformer or something. Fucking Dante Bandicoot, imagine that. We got ourselves a healing gift. A very good one. A very powerful one, mind you. This one is very good because it's a good healing on stagger. I like it. Here we go again. But this time, I came prepared. Right now, we are weak to lust, we are weak to blunt, and we are weak to envy. These guys have blunt, sloth. If we can become resistant to sloth, we take way, way less damage. That's what we want, baby. And this is an ego that this ID can fuel. That means we can spam this as much as we need. Oh, by the way, fun things are happening. There exists a slight possibility that I might go to Dragon Throne in 2 months' time. A very slight possibility, but a possibility nonetheless. and I'm quite excited for it. I've never been to a con before. We'll see if it actually goes through. If it goes through, I'll of course have to put the stream on pause because I'm gonna be like maybe a week away from the computer. But it promises to be fun, assuming I can get it done. It's gonna be very expensive too, and I don't have a lot of money, so I won't be able to bring any little thingies either. All right, here we go. On protection, this one just gives us the attack power down and sinking, so this is better for a boss. Our skill tree is better for bursting down bosses and debuffing them. One problem that we're gonna run in this run is that the fact that she gains damage up with her skill 2, she is going to run into a problem where she will reach 100% damage up and won't be able to benefit much from it. This is a support unit trying to run solo against enemies. Since the music is a banger. Always a banger. You know what? I talked about the new overlay that I'm preparing, but I might just use it soon, man, because it's almost ready. I just need to figure out some other details about it. I can just use it. Fix this aspect, this whack-ass aspect ratio. And the funny thing is, the image I'm using for it is a very old one that I used to use on my college projects. So it's quite interesting that I found that image. Yeah, I used it for my college projects back when I was with Pack. Big screen. We need to power that attack up. We need to get Rusty Nail and Late Bloomer Tattoo. If you get those two, she's gonna hit very good. Rusty Coin would also be nice, because since he self-applies buffs, that's gonna be very nice. But expect this to be a long run, like a long string. It doesn't do a lot of damage, at least not now, but still gonna be quite of a long one. And we are always at the mercy of a 5%. What floor are we going to? Floor 5 as usual to the tutor, because we are using my autistic rules of the dungeon. That's right, these are the rules we're following, and it's rough. It's rough. That's why we are only going to floor 5. Because if you go any further with this, it doesn't exercise in futility. Maybe one day I'll do like an extreme MD with her, but today is not that day. And, you know, when I do an extreme MD, I will use my Starlight. I will get the stuff I want right off the get-go, and then have RNG decide my fate. Line of death, line of death, line of death. This line is stupid. If you're no line of death, you could do a boundary of death. They could have killed their captors. Look at her go. This. He screams and someone dies. It's so lovely. But yeah, no, this is gonna take a while. Hey, don't blame me for this. Blame whoever recommended this theme for me. Again, if you have a theme that you would like me to use, you can check the description of YouTube to get a Google form for recommendations. I am gonna go ahead and pin this on the Twitch stream because I forgot to do that. I should have remembered that I have people on Twitch now. Thank you. Just a moment, please. Let's go to the shop. Let me get the link for the Google form. Then keep that pinned on Twitch chat. There we go. Pin that motherfucker down. Hell yeah. I'm gonna pin it in the stream. There we go. Very nice. Ooh, UPS system with curriculum vitae. And dependent on nostalgia too. But we have to make choices. So curriculum vitae with pendant on nostalgia. Oh yes. Oh yes, indeed. We're getting that damage up. We're getting that power up. Now we have the boss. Let's see if he can handle the first boss with his units. Alright, neighbors use slash. We are resistant to slash and endured against pride right off the bat. So they are not, no, we're normal to pride. We're resistant against fears. Alright, we're gonna use this beginning of the fight to draw out as much as we can so we can get our slots. Here we go. We don't have to worry about their elemental damage type because we're resistant to pride. You know what? I'm gonna do is, after we're done, I mentioned several times here on the channel now that once we are done with 100 episodes of daily mirror ID studies and all, ID studies are not gonna stop, mind you. But once we're done with 100 and we finish Crime and Punishment, maybe I will do a stream while I replay Kanto 2, just so we can compare with the book that we have read. I will have kept up with the book, that is. Or if you haven't, it doesn't. But with the fresh information from the book, we should compare what they did and what they didn't with Kanto 2 in the book. Which will be a little bit of a disappointment, I know that for sure. I remember Kanto 2 briefly, but still worth a shot, you know? We're already rolling neutrals here. God damn it! Peek, peek. Slice his mac. Slice his mac. There's these guys have does. Guess it's my turn now. Figured it comes sooner or later. I saw the other guys writes down from time to time, and Greg was making notes about Super Grumpy Face one time too. When I heard for a guy, Mr. Collar of House over there tells anything. A job's a job, I guess. I don't know how to put it this work. It looks like the guy with the pickaxe outside, but spikes of ice here and there. Nothing too weird so far. I've seen bigger icicles than someone who sat outside back in my hometown. The weirdest thing is, I expect 500 lunacy in my mailbox now, Kinji-hoon. You misspelled weird. The Alex like they built into a chicken. What's that supposed to mean? The large pickaxe turned into a big icy scythe. Like the stuff Green Reapers from Fairy Tales carry around. It was all massive and sharp. The way they wield it didn't really change though. It lifted up and swing it down. Only they're mining our skulls instead of our veins. And instead of gold or silver, we yield a red liquid. Whoa, just a second. The cute seed blow up again. The conclusion in her stat signature was properly restored by the manager later. Interesting. Is there any more observation about this? No? I love when smoke is in a war. Possibly a smoke war? Possibly a second smoke war that is coming. Maybe. Maybe. We rolled pretty decently, but we are still at the mercy of the pernicious 5%. Don't worry, once the sequel comes around, the only one that we can look forward is the Cold Smoke War. It's a very chill moment in the story of the city, the Cold Smoke War. Everyone just sit around, chill, and act suspicious. Threaten each other with big weapons, big cannons. Propaganda, technological advancements, the internet beginning, spy movies. It will be a good time, it will be a good time. Let's get our green. No, it's not yet time for green. I need more green. The Ash War. That's a good one, Donut Canelli. That's a good one. Alright. Let's do this guy. We could get our green resonance right now for the ampoule, but I don't think we're needing it just now. The fire war, the water war, and Dante becomes the avatar, and we fly around on Mephistopheles as he becomes a living creature. All right, here's a little snag in the road. This fight requires speed. Speed that this unit does not have. So we're gonna have to be careful here. Because our skill 2 is the skill that activates our death counter as well. So let's try our best here. I never failed this battle, but we'll see what happens if we do take more than 4 turns to kill all these guys. But since we have a lot of slots right now and we keep powering ourselves up with our attacks, that shouldn't be a problem. Ah, the 5% strikes. We're gonna call that the Tunak War, honestly. Kill that one. Very nice. Orbital. These are not doing numbers, man. This is gonna be... if I fail because of Baba Yaga, I'm gonna be very upset. 2 turns, she's coming. If you don't remember this part of the game, I don't blame you. It's not a very memorable one, because honestly, it's kind of a shit one. But if we stay too long here, we're gonna get crushed. Interesting. 5% again. If you don't kill them this turn, we die. Lovely. I never fail this. I don't plan to fail now, but goddamn, that getting close. Getting close. What turns? Move enemy. Reading. We started using Eagle since we can fuel it. Just for the AoE. We're gonna be a little bit more damage weak to their pride attacks, but next will be a counter we'll finally fight Baba Yaga. I mean, we fought Ying Long, the big-ass dragon on the railway. We can fight a big house. We're ready for the big house.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
3 turns. Here we go. Kill. Not gonna be enough to kill. Use that one. Kill. Kill. Need to use our green. Our greens are strongest attacks, unfortunately. But as long as we don't do 4 of those, we're fine.
돌격합니다.
Oh, I actually feel some pressure here now. Ooh, a death timer? Oh, interesting. And because we haven't found the eagle gift that gives us resources, we are stuck with the one eagle we can fuel. Thankfully, it's a good eagle for clashing, but that's not the best eagle in the world. God damn it, up making numbers. $35. Kill. Kill. Kill.
돌격합니다.
In the full form of Baba Yaga, just the legs that are the size of towers. Yeah. I mean, I assume everyone here played Elden Ring or saw Elden Ring. If this was gonna be a fight like one of those walking mausoleums, you know? You walk around, you smack the legs, and then you topple it down.
거점을 찾았습니다.
It's a multi-stage fight where you try to break its legs so that you can actually get on top of it and kill it. We're cutting a little too close for my taste here.
돌격합니다. 공격. 다음은 어디입니까? 다음은 어디입니까?
Here. Okay, alright, cool. Okay, that's good to know.
돌격합니다. 쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
I'm glad they have two wait slots, or AoE doesn't work here. Damn it! You're better off just using normal attacks.
공격.
Here comes the one-sided barrages. That's why we got the K-Corp Ampule. Okay. 1 and 2 here.
돌격합니다. 거점을 찾았습니다.
Okay, I gotta lock in a little bit here. Honestly, I've never failed in fights. Not even at Kanto, not even starting because I know how to read. But I'll be surprised if we actually do. It's a possibility because it's a single non-damage focused 0-0 ID against a death timer. Nice, Chuck! It's 2 turns, gotta kill 3 of them. This one is a given. Dies now. You know what? We're gonna focus fire. We're gonna take both of those attacks. As long as they don't do a resonance of 4, we'll be fine. Here we go.
다음은 어디입니까? 다음은 어디입니까?
Putting this little health floating Otis head over there for the amount of life she has kind of makes me want to play the idea I had for a Limbus company side scroller beat 'em up. That would be sweet as hell. Maybe I could do that. Maybe. You know, there are artists out there that do Limbus company sprites, but they are quite expensive. How it's a useless gift. All right, we passed through, we survived. We're gonna get Frozen Cries and Night Vision goggles. Why? Because it gives us offense level. Offense level is very nice. It's gonna give us the damage that we need. And Thunder Branch and Wood Clary doesn't really work well for us. Frozen Cries also give us, you know, sinking on every enemy, which will give escalation to our skill 1. Hell yeah. Let's check the next floor. Eagle resources. I heard you like Eagle resources. There is also painkillers here for that protection against stagger and a nice heal. And it is fighting Papa Bongi. Papa Bongi is blunt damage. Dangerous blunt damage. I am gonna go for emotional indolent. We can deal with the fish, we can deal with the apple, and we can deal with the big boy here. Hopefully, maybe, most likely. Right, that was floor 1. That took a while. Again, I was expecting this one to take a while, so buckle up, buckaroos. Let's go for the mystery pack here. Aha, we got a resource, assuming we can pass the test. And Otis clears it, I think. We're still very likely to roll 5% in this run.
이번
Hey,
기회를
Otis,
부탁드립니다.
going to floor 2. Let's see how you handle it. Hey, Carp Security. The game wants me dead again, I see. Huh. Very funny game. We're not vulnerable to sloth this time around.
조언이 필요하십니까?
Gluttony, but they don't feel, you know. If we lose this, we'll become resistant to sloth, which is our main, one of their main attack types. And this creature does have luck. Let's go with this one. Let's surge our damage resistance, get a little passive to go with it, and a nice AoE.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
Actually, doesn't enemies have weakness to the sloth, given that it's emotional indolence? Oh yeah, they lose sanity. Good, that's nice. Do you guys have weakness? No, you don't. You just have a weakness to being screamed at by her. Right?
돌격합니다.
Scream, Otis.
거점을 찾았습니다.
Nice stagger. I got a little bit of protection there. True paralysis next turn. I don't like that. That is very bad for us. Paralysis is actually horrid for us. Unless we overclock. If we overclock, we win.
돌격합니다.
You know, kind of. It's still a lot of sanity loss, but you know, we get to use an overclocked version of the eagle with the full power, which is not very good, but still full power. We turn disadvantage, which is paralysis, into an advantage. We didn't get any protection this turn around, though. True paralysis again. We're about to get staggered. How about we're gonna have to use, we only have a single coin, that's true paralysis. We're not doing too great here for, we're gonna need the protection, all the protection we get, because we're fast, so they're not gonna attack first, but we need protection.
돌격합니다.
I think we got rid of the paralysis, we got a little bit of heal away from the stagger threshold.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
Right. And there have her stagger. Good thing I got some protection, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. We got fragile. We're staggered and fragile. Good thing that thing is killing them for us. Okay. You can stop now. You can stop now. Thank you, motherfucker. Thank you. Now give me my health back. We don't have enough green. We should maximize our protection for now. We gain true protection per, right? So 5 of these will give us maximum amounts of protection. Yeah.
돌격합니다.
We have to get our sanity back from those ego usages so that we can get our coins, you know, more likely to win, because that's the problem with this ID. Even though we can spam Sun Shower over and over, and not the good Sun Shower, just the normal Otis Sun Shower, it still runs into the problem where we need sanity. We need sanity because she's a single coin ID. Every single attack is a single coin. Good protection there. Okay, we need 4 greens now. Acquired. Let's go on the offensive here. Yeah. Again, how much? That's true damage up. So 5 of these already give us the maximum amount of power we can get.
돌격합니다.
Fucking bots. There we go. It's taking a while for them to show up. We good. We're climbing back up our health. Halt! Arresting! I think that thing has more damage than we have in the entire run. Right. Do not use 4 greens in a row again, or that is death, my brother.
돌격합니다.
Alright. Let's do 3 so we can get damage ups. As long as we don't use 4 in a row, we don't die. But unfortunately, green is our skill 2 and gives us damage ups, and so we can't really use them as much as we wanted to do more damage. But it's still a good ramp up.
다음은 어디입니까?
We could replace some of our skill 1s with skill 3s, even though the skill 3 doesn't do that much more damage compared to our skill 2. It does a 25, so
거점을 찾았습니다.
we're really trading protection for damage, and all protection gain is pretty damn good. Allows to take a lot of stuff that we wouldn't otherwise. 3 greens, and then just yellow.
돌격합니다. 다음은 어디입니까?
To be entirely honest, if you didn't have lithograph, or if I knew I was gonna get lithograph, I would have taken home glue and would else take gambler home glue for the damage up. But this is pretty good.
거점을 찾았습니다.
That K-Corp Ample is saving our ass here now. Look at that resonance. The attacks get stronger the more resonance we have. If you get the statuette as well for the spot, that's true extra skill power.
다음은 어디입니까?
Very good. Clear the combat node with no problem. See what I have here. This is just fuel for the furnace. We don't generate poise, so we don't get any benefit from this eagle gift, but fuel for the eagle furnace, I suppose. And a spray shot for the boss here. Painkiller. Hell yeah, painkiller is gonna be very good for us. Sinclair. Painkiller for me. Nice job, Sinclair. A nice lobotomy will get you running. Quiet in the frontal lobe. Bloody Gadget. Bloody Gadget is 2 damage up, so we won't be relying as much on our... but Gray Coat, man. There's so many good gifts here today. What the fuck? Let's sell the gifts that we don't use, which is this one and this one. And buy Bloody Gadget for 20% damage up. Melted Spring for offense level down enemies. And shit, we don't have enough for Grey Coat. I should have gone for Grey Coat first. Fuck! We don't generate that much charge, so we can sell night vision goggles. And we get a sort of healing for every time we use our skill tree. That is good. That is very good. That is more than good. Now we get haste and power up as well. The build is starting to form here. Let's see if we can survive the boss, though. It requires Lust, Wrath, and Pierce, and we have only Pierce.
이번 주의도 부탁드립니다.
And what's the boss gonna be? Oh my god, it's big. Oh no, no. Our weakness is Envy. And it has Envy skills, Pride and Gloom.
조언이 필요하십니까?
Can we remove that Envy weakness? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Let's do that. I don't want to get hit by the 3 attack power down next turn. We are very dependent on our power. So let's do our best here. Let's fight the fish. Let's get clapped, baby.
쓸데없는 관심. 필요 없다.
Good damage. And now the beatdown. Clapped. Staggered. Can't you survive? It's always like this with G-Corp, isn't it? They get beaten, and then they spring back up. Problem. Oh, the problem is that we're gonna get a lot of debuffs out of this. Ah, powerful clap. It's a -3 power. I can't even see my health bar. Badass. Okay, we got blood cannon on the way, and -4 power. That's cool. And we're about to get staggered again. And I don't think we're gonna survive another stagger here. What do we do? Well, what can we do actually? We have the option of using binds for a bit of damage, a lot of damage resistance from everything that this creature can pop out. Honestly, we might as well go for binds to get the blood cannon. It's favored because of that -4 power we got. And then next we're gonna have to deal with the rest of its attacks, so we could probably run a sun shower on top of that. Let's run a sun shower, get the other blood cannon, and then try to survive, honestly. We are not faster than it is, so it's going to attack us first, so our protection isn't going to trigger. I am banking on us corroding here. And survive. That's the most important part. We have to survive. We have the era if we need for the next round. Let's see. Let's see if it. Powerful Cup is gonna go first. Survived.
지겹군. 이 몸을 직접 손봐야겠는데.
Not a lot of damage, but some healing. And a stagger. We didn't get to corrode. And now it gets to have its way with us. Let's see if she can survive. This is all in the dice roll. Clap. 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 I'm getting clapped here. You guys want to tune in for Otis getting clapped? Because, that is a lot of attack power down and a lot of bleed. Oh boy, bleed that we cannot heal from. What do we do here, man? Well, the only option, the clear option here is Era, so that we can at least heal off, because they're all gonna be unbreakables, but with -12 power, that is not. It's Era time. If you don't want to lose health here, we don't want to lose our life, we're gonna use Era. The bug is angry. The bug is going for blood, but every attack is struggling now. We're not gaining any health back from this, so we're gonna go all in on unopposed attacks. Yeah. We don't have any more green to activate an MPU. It would be good if we had another green, but we don't. So this is it. We're gonna nuke it out. We're gonna receive all of these attack power downs. There is nothing much we can do about it, because we are depowered to hell and back. We're banking on brawling it out. That is not good. That is terrible. That is possibly the worst matchup we could have gotten. At least it doesn't inflict more bleed outside of blood cannon. Stop depowering me, you creature! We can clash now, at least. Kinda. We can activate a Sun Shower. We can activate Sun Shower. With this, we have Ampules. But we can't do anything about that KO whip. Pray.
돌격합니다.
Good. 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 Hell yeah.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
Help coming back up. And now we have Ampule to help us. We got a stagger. All right, I feel like blood cannon's coming up, but now we are in clash zone. Now we are good. Now you're gonna pay for your crimes, you damn pig. It's time for punishment. It's time for death.
돌격합니다.
All right, you messed with the wrong bug. Punishment. I know we have to use Era Floor 2, but it wasn't necessary. Yes, yes, split it wide open. Not gonna be laughing for too long now. I gotta be careful not to use up our 4 greens or else we die. So, good protection here.
돌격합니다.
We're back at full health. We have the slots. This battle is ours, most likely. Very good, Otis. Keep it flowing. Let's keep it going. That's my favorite bug, right there.
돌격합니다.
Good. And just because I said that, it gets power full clap. If this unit could ever get an uptie, I would also love her to be able to apply like a damage buff at the beginning of the combat when she uses her skill and next turn. That would be great. Imagine how powerful she would be if she could get the power-ups this turn and the next turn. Man, that would be crazy good. Hopeless all around. Well, let's put that frown upside down, shall we? Can't use 3 in a row here. Because we're gonna use an eagle. We're gonna use Sun Shower because we can fuel it. And we're gonna use Ebony Stem because this creature is weak to AoE. Has many body parts. That is our sanity going down the gutter, but we can't get staggered. And I'd rather not take the 25 bleed potency.
공격.
Yay. Come on, come on! Now it's time for you to be skewered.
몸을 사르면
Beautiful. And I fucked up. Oops. I forgot. I forgot about the K-Corp ampules again. One more time. Okay. We were doing good. We were doing so good, and then we fucked up. This is so we change the damage resistance so we can actually survive some hit. We don't want to get collapsed for 3 attack power down, so we're gonna go for that.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
That was my entire fuck up. That fight was in the bag and I fumbled it because I didn't pay attention to one tiny little detail, which was the whole you get hit, use 4 greens, you're dead. Here's the stagger, as we expected, and now we have to survive. Hopefully, he will do enough damage to bring her down past the other stagger threshold so that we don't get staggered anymore. And he did it. Okay, this is doable. This is doable. We are depowered to hell and back. That's fine. Okay. 2 greens, you can get a 3rd green, but we need protections. So we're gonna go with Sun Shower against the Blood Cannon. And since it is faster than everything that we have here, we are going to have to try and get some protection up. We can't get any protection up because we are slow. We are very slow. Is this gonna be enough to kill us? I think it is going to be enough to kill us. Well, we used it before, we use it now. Era activates. Hungry Bug activate. Those attacks are gonna come and we're gonna survive.
돌격합니다. 쓸데없는 관심.
It's a battle. On. Powerful clap, damn it. Roll tails. Alright, it's still not looking good for us. It may have enough to activate Green Resonance for healing, but we have to survive at 15 and we are powered down by 5. This is not good. This is not looking good. I have no one to blame but myself for all of this, honestly. Oh, collapse. No protection. We're at low health, so anything's gonna hit like a truck. Not so good.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
3 greens, 3 green, 4 green, 4 green bad, 3 green good, 3 green is fine. But 4 green, no, 4 green, 3 green, no 4. Full clashes. This is floor 2, by the way. We're struggling this much on floor 2 boss. They already popped Era, so we're gonna have to be very careful coming up. Right? Alright. Alright.
돌격합니다. 공격.
Good. 60 heal. 4 green bad. 3 green good. This is powerful clap? No, this is clap. We go against the powerful with the greens. Here with the press and stack. 3 green good. 4 green bad.
돌격합니다.
Right? I am out of my scarf. It's been this long. This is a piece of garden. God, it's just to relax because this night was very rough for me. Like I said, Brazil, the area I live in Brazil is going to a cold snap. And it's usually very hot, but we're really not prepared for the cold. Okay. So far, so good. Three green bad. No, 4 green bad. 3 green good.
돌격합니다.
Even if you win that clash, I have protections. I'm protected. Very good. 2 clash lost. 3 green good. Okie dokie. Okay, a whip. Green. Yellow, 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 yellow. More yellow, please. Go.
돌격합니다.
Ooh, rolled 5% tails.
거점을 찾았습니다.
Stagger. Oh, thank you. Yeah, because there was a lot of it. I got myself here a bowl of beans. Very warm bean. Delicious. Gonna be floating off in my bed tonight. A lot of farting I'm gonna be doing. True green good. Alright, I like true green. We broke off a part. We can't target that part again, but we can target the broken ones. No problem. Here we go. And what bowl of beans will be complete without some hot sauce?
거점을 찾았습니다.
I don't have chilies.
공격. 공격.
Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. This battle is ours. This battle is won. The result is unquestionable. We have won. We have defeated the fish, as long as we're careful. Because, you know, we still have a self-destruct button that we have to be careful for. Beans.
공격. 다음은 어디입니까?
There we go. Hunted down the fish. We recovered that life we lost. Pop it. Alright, Starlight is useless for me. I'll get her ego resources. This is the first time I picked one of these, honestly. Alright, we got the I think two ego resources generating ones. I think we're gonna go for layered bandages for healing and talisman bundle for extra rupture. Here we go. Floor 3. Addicting Lust, Addicting Waves, and Charm, Wonder, and Doubt. Charm, Wonder, and Doubt will be suicide because it's all mannequins, and mannequins have a lot of bleed infliction. Addicting Lust has 2 easy bosses, and Addicting Waves has Papa Bongi. Unfortunately, neither of these 2 have any gifts that I want. Premier Intake is on Charm, Wonder, and Doubt, unfortunately. This is for Tremor, and this is for Fear. Oracle's kind of shit. I guess we're gonna go for Dealing Waves. Honestly, Papa Bongi is the least bad of all of these. It is blunt damage, but we survived worse. Let's see here. A hard battle with blunt, a hard battle with an abnormality, and a mystery pack. Let's go for the mystery pack. It's the same guy. Okay, I'll tell you to do things. Give me your gift, which we can't use. We technically give Tremor for everything, but we're gonna have to fight about another abnormality now. Hopefully we can deal with this one.
부탁드립니다.
Blunt, Pride, and Wrath. We are normal against Wrath, resistant against Pride. Here we go. We don't have any more Durante to use. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get some protection out, because we are gonna get a beat down here. But it's a neutral class. Ooh. Not instead of protection, let's lower its damage by giving a -2 power down. And let's go.
돌격합니다.
Now it's gonna hurt a little less. That's paralysis, baby. That's stagger, baby. Heal, and now survive. Come on, hit me right there. Go past that stagger threshold. Damn it. He left us at the... He made that on purpose. He did that on purpose. We are very dependent on coin power on this unit, man. We're gonna have to nuke our sanity here. There is no two ways about it.
돌격합니다.
The best we can do. With 12 paralysis, we're not winning any clashes unless we overclock.
떠나지 마라. 어디에 도전하는가?
Not good damage, but we're mostly doing it to be able to
거점을 찾았습니다.
power it down. Hell yeah. Right, we got rid of it, and now we can properly deal with him. Very good. Very good, though. Very good job. Like it. Lovely.
돌격합니다. 공격.
Recovers from stagger. We now have enough slots to clash against everything he has. We are going to activate our green resonance here, which is very dangerous, but it's necessary. Let's go for another green here. You know, you can let one attack go through. If you're activating for the first time, it doesn't matter how much green we put,
돌격합니다.
as long as we get the green now.
거점을 찾았습니다. 쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
And struck. And we're paralyzed again. Damn it. I was paralysis. I can be happy tides. It's best we can do. We can take some hits now. We have Takeoff Ample. We are already being staggered, so we're just going for it.
공격.
Oh, I never actually seen this one. Vacuum tubes in the center of the steam transport machine torso are glowing. Glowy or rapidly, the number displayed in the vacuum tubes decrease, and its broken, rusted chassis began to reconstruct itself. Did the steam transport machine return to when it was first produced? Leaving behind everything it's gone through. The older the machine gets, the more of itself will have to reconstruct. Maybe the steam transport machine can be stopped if someone could reach into its vacuum tube. Gamble time! Hell yeah! Otis strode up to the steam transport machine. It appeared that the steam transport machine was in a deep focus. The machine stood completely still, no matter how close the sinner got to it. Otis did not hesitate to reach into the vacuum tubes. Oh! The numbers! Looked like Otis tapped into the creativity and swapped out one of the electrodes connected to the vacuum tubes. That seems to have done the trick. The numbers ceased to decrease. The steam transport machine began to creak into motion once again, as though it just realized what had happened, but the perpetrator was long gone. Steam transport machine loses 10 accumulated pass and true offense level down. Nice. We still have paralysis plenty. Bad. It's very bad. But we are faster than these creatures, so we can just pump the paralysis out of our system, collect it with our big skills here, and get just rock and roll.
돌격합니다.
Stop paralyzing me, you annoying creature. It keeps doing that. I hate it. 3 green good, 4 green bad.
돌격합니다.
Why isn't my attack not going one-sided? God damn it. Hey, I'm faster than you are, you annoying creature.
공격. 공격.
Let us see. Okay, let's do an overclock. Actually, we don't need to overclock. We have high base power with his attacks. More than enough to clash win. Hold on. Let's do Sun Shower. So it loses the effects of Paralyze. And it's a 2-coin skill first. Go here. Go here. Here. 2 green good. 4 green bad.
돌격합니다.
God damn it. I should probably lock in and see which attack they're going first instead of getting paralyzed every turn.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
What do you mean she died? I only did 3 green. We did not do 4 green. What? Did I make a mistake? I probably did. Well, there's 1 life lost. We retry. Again, settle in. This is gonna be a long one. Hopefully I think before it gets too bad. Lower our resistance to hit types of damage. Just use Wrath Slot and Envy, right? Envy is still the bigger damage here.
돌격합니다.
Well, it's gonna be another adventure where we take hits and we wait for her to survive. She dies 3 times in a row. That's it for the dungeon. There we go. I expected that. Right past the Stagger Threshold. Very nice. Now we need to revive ourselves somehow. It goes whatever it pleases. That's right. All right. 3 green good.
돌격합니다.
Beat us all you want. You won't be able to kill us. Oh, maybe. Most likely.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
All the times I died on this dungeon was because I didn't pay attention to Hong Lu, which is very funny. Maybe it will happen now. Nice. Let's try our best here. Our best is not a lot for this ID. Oh yes.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
Those are some bomb-ass beans that I made today. Right, let me just confirm that 4 resonance bad. Resonance very bad.
돌격합니다.
Why is the clashes going first? I'm attacking one-sided. Whatever. Paralysis now. We can actually slash 4 clash of green bad. Don't die to your own attacks, to your own passive, please.
돌격합니다.
And come paralysis. I hope the boss is not this guy again. Ugh, this is gonna take a while, boys. Again, if you got a team you like to recommend for us to use in the Mirror Dungeon, you can go ahead and recommend it on the forum below the YouTube link or pinned on the Twitch chat right now. This was a team recommended by one of you, so you get to suffer this with me. Right, we got 3 green. We are gonna go for 3 green normal. Not gonna use 4 green. I'm not going to die from this attack, right, game? Haha. The Honglu is not activating.
돌격합니다.
Paralysis. And we're a single coin unit. Paralysis is really bad for us, man.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
Okay. And now it's going all in. We're paralyzed once again. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love being paralyzed. So nice. So nice in here. I got 3 greens. We're gonna go for 3 green because we need to use Sun Shower. It's that. Here we go. And not only she was paralyzed, to roll blow. Now it doesn't matter our sanity right now because of all the paralysis we have. There's more paralysis. Get used to it.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
Not so good. We haven't exploded yet. It's good. No longer paralyzed. That's also good. Now we're gonna go for one-sided attacks. Honglu is not activated. I double checked it just now. And so we're not gonna die from ampules, which are very funny. I always question if those ampules actually killed the sinner, then now I know. And why the low rolls? I don't know. Okie dokie. $124. We are faster than it is, so we'll be able to just go all in on attacks and just get some damage there. Although we don't have any healing on the hits, and I don't think we're gonna do 224 damage with these attacks. We're gonna have to clash something or else we're gonna die. You know what? I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to give it a try. I'm not trying too hard with that unit because, let's be honest, it's not a very thrilling gameplay right now. It doesn't have any cool gimmick to play around. I should probably not have done that. Big slammer! That is a lot of paralysis, man. Don't use more green, my dude. Right. Okay. I think with this we will win the fight and we can progress. I hate getting stuck on fights like that, especially with a unit that is not very pleasing to play with. But here we are. I'm looking forward for our book reading, honestly. I'm always looking forward for the book reading because we got some of the spiciest moments on Crime and Punishment, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Sanity? Don't worry about it. Sanity? Haha, don't worry about it. I think with all our clashes done and out of the way, we can just rush them. That is 3 greens. We're not activating high grade AM fuel. I think this is more than enough to destroy it. No, not really. He is resistant to blunt. He's resistant to everything because this steam machine is supposed to be dealt with ailments, you know? Thank God it's not repairing health anymore. $51. Who got 51? 51.5. But go for another barrage of one-sided, honestly. I absolutely hate this creature. Hey, class win to fight the paralysis. Come on, just kill him already. Okay, oh, perfect, perfect. We're gonna enter the next fight with low sanity and low health, which is not good, but we recovered a life we lost. The next fight is a focus encounter. I mean, we can control some things about that. Ooh, this is already at 2 hours and we're still on floor 3. Man, oh man. I knew this was gonna take a while. I'm complaining a lot about it, I know, but still. Oh boy. Alright, Blunt Sloth. We're Fatal versus Blunt, but normal against Sloth. And we're about to be staggered too. So let's try to lower our power or against, and you know, power against Sloth and make the most out of it. 5 HP. Good heal. Don't know if it's gonna be enough to prevent our impending stagger, but good heal nonetheless. Okay. Fighting. Not enough to stagger. And there's a stagger that we're waiting for. Alright, let's see if we can survive. Good heals all around because of the painkillers we have. Right, we're good. We got only a single tip of paralyze. That should be more than enough to make us win this. We can ignore the guy using a block. We don't really need it. We no longer get stagger, so that's no longer a problem. The only thing that we need to solve is our low sanity. Well, and the amount of tremor that we have right now. But thankfully, tremor does not do damage to our HP bar, so it's fine. Oh yes. 3 greens, 4 greens. You can activate 4 greens once. Honglu magical 4 green program, where the most effective weight loss program out there in the city. You just explode all the meat out of your bones, and you are thin and beach body ready. What do you think they use in Ucore for the fancy beach during the interval? You just inject yourself with 4 ampules and just explode. And then, that's it. You're ready for the beach. Here we go. Prioritize getting some kicks. And she couldn't secure a single kill, because this is a very low damage ID. It's a support ID, what were you expecting? 3 greens, no more than that. Remember, drugs are bad. This week is 2.5 hours. I'm just stopping the dungeon because it's not very exciting. Let's be honest here. I set myself up to the challenge of using whatever team you guys recommend, but still we gotta take into consideration the whole aspect of, is this fun to watch? I don't think it is, but we're gonna try it anyway. We're gonna ignore the guy that is blocking. Nefarious 5%. Thank you. Yep. I bought it, might as well use it, right? I bought it, might as well use it, right? Oh, and everything. Even beans. Cowboys wear 4. You're not a rich cowboy. If you're a rich cowboy or a plantation owner. Keep screaming at it. Keep screaming at it. She's not gonna stagger it because we are all sloth pierce them, and that thing is resistant against sloth. Three greens, we can do it. Nice tremor burst. Very nice. Moving on. Captain Flax, that is more ego resources, and we do need those. Go down here. Sit and cry with him. Not fighting you. This one we know what it is, and it gives more money. Let's go over here. It's a little time consuming, but that's better. It's a better option. We could ego blast it for the start, and then week to gluttony, if I recall correctly. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Blasting with the ego power. The power of the ego manifests. And no daggers, but good damage. Go. Still low sanity. That is our green. Nice. Do paralysis. I love being paralyzed. Don't you love being paralyzed? I do love being paralyzed. How about we turn that paralyzed upside down and turn it into a nice hill?
돌격합니다. 공격. 이번에는 떠나지 마라.
Greens. And kill that one with the screen and focus on killing this one. There we go.
돌격합니다. 공격. 다음은 어디입니까?
Here we go, here we go. That is a 31. You're not gonna do 31 with that attack. You're gonna do 50 with that one.
돌격합니다.
Let's secure kill ultits. Two blocks, that means we get 2 kills in our bag. Because we can just ignore blocks. Especially because the sloth pick up of blocks give them protection on you. But we don't want that to happen.
돌격합니다. 다음은 어디입니까? 허점을 찾았습니다.
The green team was strong. But now we're Two green, 3 green. 4 green. I want that thing dead.
돌격합니다.
Can't avoid the clashes because we're a single character. Even if we're faster, we don't get to attack one-sided.
다음은 어디입니까?
Nice. Because the problem is we don't get choose.
돌격합니다.
Because this unit has a lot of defensive power, but a lot of offensive one, she's already losing the numbers game in terms of offense level. We're gonna have to fix that. Scream louder.
돌격합니다.
That's what I like to see.
허점을 찾았습니다.
Alright, we already knew how this was gonna go. Finish it off.
돌격합니다. 다음은 어디입니까? 다음은 어디입니까?
On to the boss fight. Again, for 3, we're kind of screwed for time. Maybe we get something that will change the game over here. We got Blue Zippo Lighter, Paper Stuff Rage, Prejudice. Prejudice is a nice heal, but we already have heal. Ego Resources would be nice. We're using a lot of exchange one of our defensive ones. Now let's change our greens to blue because we don't want to die that much. So refresh. Let's see what we got. Roof guards. That is damage up. That's nice. And the grimy iron stake. Hell yeah. These are nice. These are very nice. We can sell the tremor gifts because we don't use tremor like at all. And sell this one too. Killer. Gifts. Let's get that rupture power-ups ready, or the damage ups. We're down on the damage department. Let's get our damage ups rolling so we don't need to rely on our green for damage ups. And that is our upgrades. That is... Ooh, we could have gotten Sticky Muck, Pierce Skewer, or Gluttony Affinity skill. 2 defense level down. If we sell this, not enough. We do have 2 Eagle Resources generating gift. 3 of them, actually. One of them regenerates for all, while the other one regenerates for an attack skill. And let's sell Coffee and Cranes. And we sell the Dark Vestige as well, so we can get Sticky Muck. Sticky Muck will give us a nice damage down on our defense level down on our enemies. This one is just not gonna work because we don't have Lust. That is it for the shop. We didn't find any game changers, and so now we are going to have to bite it against Papa Bongi. Bug versus chicken. Chicken versus Bongi. Will he be able to stop us? Doubt it. But we are vulnerable to Wrath and Blunt. We could bind for the first turn. Let's bind the first turn. You don't get hit by that 4-coin blunt attack. And we need to nuke the battlefield first. I didn't hear no staggers. Paralysis is my favorite. Time to survive. I gotta play your blues now. It's all down to the dice roll, and the dice roll was not merciful to us. Boink. And death by chicken. Unfortunate. We try again. We try again. Maybe Papa Bongi will end this torment, because this is not fun. I will tell you that much. Not complaining, but I am. But not. Yeah, this is not interesting to watch. We could go for Ebony Stand and eat the attack, but that will deal more damage, I believe, than binds. These creatures are normal versus Pierce. Let's try a different strategy then. And it paralyzed me. Thank you. I did hear a stagger there. Nice, that's better, that's better. Boink! It's okay, it's okay, okay! Very good, very good. Keep it up. Turn 3. Snap those fingers. I'm still baffled by the existence of the chickens lowering our sanity, but what can you do? Chicken's chicken. Chicken's chicken, duh. Dagger. Revive now. Goodbye. We didn't lose this one, but We're down to our last life. Everyone is staying right off the bat and trying to stagger. Here the stagger there, that's good. We're still gonna take a lot of damage from that. Blunt and Wrath Fatal. Healing. We need to get rid of that blunt, the Wrath Fatal that we have.
돌격합니다.
Charging in.
여행은 목적을 쌓지.
Let's remove that weakness to rank that we have from using Ebony's Head. That didn't matter. At least we're, you know, a little better protected now. Let's see if we can survive the stagger. Donk, donk, donk. And there's another chicken, isn't there? That is it. We did 3 retries. Unfortunately, that is it. That is, by our rules, we cannot retry this anymore. Otis has died at the hand of Papa Bongi, unfortunately. This mirror dungeon was a failure. Well, Gregor was able to survive up to floor 5, like struggling. Otis, unfortunately, only made to floor 3 boss. So this is it. That was our last retry.
내가 총 지을 것만 가졌더라도.
If only I had the Doom Total command. Unfortunately, the bug, the 0-0 bug, could not made it all the way to the dungeon. It is what it is. We tried our best. We unfortunately got caught in a situation where all of our eagles weren't slashed. We couldn't stagger the chickens from the beginning. And if you use one of our eagles, we would turn into a weakness of wrath or a weakness of lust. And Papa Bongi and the chickens, the Bongis, do deal lust and wrath damage to all of the blunt category. And we are weak to blunt. So unfortunately, we were dealt a bad hand. She did really well for herself considering everything. But unfortunately, that is it for Otis in this run. Well, with our study complete and our mirror dungeon sort of complete, we are now gonna do our book reading. Unfortunately, yeah, that's them rules. That's what we gotta do. So I invite you all to, you know, sit tight, get yourself a drink, as I am gonna get myself some water. Down on with crime and punishment. Once again, the Rhodia's story. I'll be right back, as I'm gonna get myself some water. Okay, we'll start in just a moment. Alrighty, I'm back! So, sorry for the short break. If you came here for Limbus Company gameplay, unfortunately the time to go was a few moments ago, because now we're going to be reading our book. So, let's recap what happened last time on Crime and Punishment. And why am I so excited to continue reading the book? Raskolnikov has successfully confessed the crime he did to Sofia. But, after defending her honor, because, you know, the human garbage bag knows losing tried to incriminate her by putting money on her pocket and saying that she stole it. Because of that, the woman, forgot her name now, that was doing the dinner for her late husband for the funeral, her landowner kind of told her to go away, and she went insane. She dragged the children into the street, forced them to dance, forced them to sing, and it was just horrible. It was just a horrible affair all around. And unfortunately, she was already very weak, she had tuberculosis, and she died. As Sofia Semyonovna and everyone else was, trying to understand what hell happened now, Svidrigailov showed up. Svidrigailov was the former boss of Rodion's sister, Dunya, and he had feelings for her, which caused a lot of confusion, but I'm not going to go into that detail now. But the point is, Svidrigailov heard the entire confession that Raskolnikov did in private with Sonia. Well, I'm going to mute Limbus now, and we're going to begin our reading. Part 6, Chapter 1. A strange period began for Raskolnikov. It was as though a fog had fallen upon him and wrapped him in a dreary solitude from which there was no escape. Recalling that period long afterwards, he believed that his mind had been clouded at times, and that it had continued so, with intervals, until the final catastrophe. He was convinced that he had been mistaken about many things at that time, for instance, about the date of certain events. In any way, when he tried later on to piece his recollections together, he learned a great deal about himself from what other people told him. He had mixed up incidents and had explained events as due to circumstances which existed only in his imagination. At times, he was a prey to agonies of morbid uneasiness, amounting sometimes to panic. But he remembered too moments, hours, perhaps whole days of complete apathy, which came upon him as a reaction to his previous terror and might be compared with the abnormal insensibility which is sometimes seen in the dying. He seemed to be trying in that later stage to escape from the full and clear understanding of his position. Certain essential facts, which required immediate consideration, were particularly irritating to him. How glad he would have been to be free from some of his worries, which, if he had neglected them, would have threatened him with complete inevitable ruin. He was particularly worried about Svidrigailov. He might be said to be permanently thinking of Svidrigailov. From time of Svidrigailov's excessively menacing and unmistakable words in Sonia's room at the moment of Katerina Ivanovna's death, the normal working of his mind seemed to break down. But although this new fact caused him extreme uneasiness, Raskolnikov was in no hurry to explain it. At times, finding himself in a solitary and remote part of the town, in some wretched eating house, sitting alone and lost in thought, hardly knowing how he had come to be there, he suddenly thought of Svidrigailov. He recognized suddenly, clearly, and with dismay, that he ought at once to come to an understanding with that man, and to make what terms he could. Walking outside of the city gate one day, he actually imagined that they had fixed a meeting there, that he was waiting for Svidrigailov. Another time, he woke up before daybreak, lying on the ground under some bushes, and could not first understand how he had come to be there. But during the 2 or 3 days after Katerina Ivanovna's death, he had 2 or 3 times met Svidrigailov in the building, where Sonia lived, to which he had gone aimlessly for a moment. They exchanged a few words and made no preference to the vital subject, as though they had tactically agreed not to speak of it for a period. Tacitly. Katerina Ivanovna's body was still lying in the coffin. Svidrigailov was busy making arrangements for the funeral. Sonia, too, was very busy. At their last meeting, Svidrigailov informed Raskolnikov that he had made an arrangement, and a very satisfactory one, for Katerina Ivanovna's children, that he had, through certain connections, succeeded in getting hold of certain people with whose help the 3 orphans could be at once placed in very suitable institutions, that the money he had given them had been of great assistance, as it's much easier to place orphans who had some kind of property than destitute ones. He said something too about Sonia and promised to come himself in a day or two to see Raskolnikov, mentioning that he would like to consult with him that there were things they must talk over. This conversation took place in the passage on the stairs. Svidrigailov looked intently at Raskolnikov, and suddenly, after a brief pause, dropping his voice, asked, "But how is it, Rodion Romanovich? You don't see yourself. You look and you listen, but you don't seem to understand. Cheer up. We'll talk when things over. I'm just sorry. I've so much on my own business and of other people to do. Ah, Rodion Romanovich," he added suddenly, "what everyone needs is fresh air. Fresh air more than anything." He moved to one side to make way for the priest and his server, who were coming up the stairs. They had come for the requiem service. On Svidrigailov's order, it was sung twice a day, punctually. Svidrigailov went his way. Raskolnikov stood still for a moment, thought, and followed the priest into Sonia's room. He stood at the door. They began to sing the service quietly, lowly, mournfully. From his childhood, the thought of death and the presence of death had been something oppressive and mysteriously awful, and it was a long time since he had heard a requiem service. And there was something else here as well, too awful and disturbing. He looked at the children. They were all kneeling by the coffin. Olenka was weeping. Behind them, Sonia prayed, softly, and, as it were, timidly weeping. "For the last 2 days, she hasn't said a word to me. She hasn't glanced at me," Raskolnikov thought suddenly. Sunlight was bright in the room. The incense rose in cloud. The priest read, "Give rest, O Lord." Raskolnikov stayed throughout the service. As he blessed it and took his leave, the priest looked around strangely. After the service, Raskolnikov went up to Sonia. She took both his hands and let her head sink on his shoulder. This slight friendly gesture bewildered Raskolnikov. It seemed strange to him that there was no trace of repugnance, no trace of disgust, no tremor in her hand. It was the furthest limit of self-abnegation. At least so he interpreted it. Sonia said nothing. Raskolnikov pressed her hand and went out. He felt very miserable. If it had been possible to escape this some solitude, he would have considered himself lucky, even if he had to spend his whole life there. But although he had almost always been by himself recently, he had never been able to feel alone. Sometimes he walked out of the town onto the high road. Once he had even reached a little wood. But the lonelier the place was, the more he seemed to be aware of an uneasy presence near him. It did not frighten him, but greatly annoyed him. So he made haste to return to the town, to mingle with the crowd, to go into restaurants and taverns, to walk in busy streets. There, he felt easier and even more solitary. One day at dusk, he sat for an hour listening to songs in a tavern, and he remembered that he actually enjoyed it. But at last, he had suddenly felt the same uneasiness again, as though his conscience was smiting him. "Here I sit listening to singing. Is that what I ought to be doing?" he thought. Yet he felt at once that that was not the only cause of his uneasiness. There was something requiring immediate decision, but it was something he could not clearly understand or put into words. It was a hopeless tangle. Better to have the struggle again. Better have Portrait again, or Svidrigailov. Better have some challenge again, some attack. Yes, he thought. He went out the tavern and rushed away almost at a run. The thought of Junior and his mother suddenly reduced him almost to a panic. That night, he woke up before morning among some bushes in Krestovsky Island, trembling all over with fever. He walked home, and it was early morning when he arrived. After some hours' sleep, the fever left him, but he woke up late, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He remembered that Katerina Ivanova's funeral had been fixed for that day, and was glad that he was not present at it. Nastasia brought him some food. He ate and drank with appetite, almost with greediness. His head was fresher, and he was calmer than he had been for the last 3 days. He even felt a passing sense of amazement in his previous panic attacks. The door opened, and Razumikin came in. "Ah, he's eating, then he's not ill," said Razumikin. He took a chair and sat down at the table opposite to Raskolnikov. He was troubled and did not attempt to conceal it. He spoke with evident annoyance, without hurrying or raising his voice. He looked as though he had some special fixed determination. "Listen," he began resolutely. As far as I'm concerned, you all can all go to hell, but when I see it's clear to me that I can't make head or tail of it. Please, don't think I've come to ask you questions. I don't want to know, damn it. If you begin telling me your secrets, I don't think I'd stay to listen. I'd go away cursing. I have only come to find out for once and for all whether it's a fact that you're mad. There's a conviction in the air that you are mad or very nearly so. I admit, I've been disposed to that opinion myself, judging from your stupid, repulsive, and quite inexplicable action, and from your recent behavior to your mother and sister. Only a monster or a madman could treat them as you have, so you must be mad. When did you see them last? Didn't know. Haven't you seen them since? What have you been doing with yourself? Tell me, please. I've been to see you 3 times already. Your mother has been seriously ill since yesterday. She had made up her mind to come to you. Avdotya Romanovna tried to prevent her. She wouldn't hear a word. If he is ill, if his mind is giving way, who can look after him like his mother can? She said. We all came here together. We couldn't let her come alone all the way. We kept begging her to be calm. We came in. You weren't there. She sat down and stayed 10 minutes while we stood waiting in silence. She got up and said, He's gone out, that is, if he's well and has forgotten his mother. It's humiliating and unseemly for his mother to stand at his door begging for kindness. She returned home and took to her bed. Now she's in fever. I see, she said, that he has time for his girl. She means by your girl, Sofia Semyonovna, your betrothed or your mistress. I don't know. I went out at once to Sofia Semyonovna's because I wanted to know what's going on. Looked around, I saw the coffin, the children cry, and Sofia Semyonovna getting them to try on morning dresses. No sign of you. I apologized, went away, and reported all to Avdotya Romanovna. So that's all nonsense, and you haven't got a girl. The most likely thing is that you're mad. But here you sit, guzzling boiled beef, as though you had not had a bite for 3 days. Though, as far as that goes, madmen eat too, but though you have not said a word to me yet. You are not mad. That I'd swear. Above all, you're not mad, so you can go to hell, all of you, because there's some mystery, some secret about it, and I don't intend to worry my brains over your secret. So I've just come here to swear at you. He finished getting up, to relieve my mind, and I know what to do now. What do you intend to do now? Oh, what business is it of yours, what I intend to do? You're going out for a drinking bout. How did you know? Well, it's pretty clear. As the making pause for a minute. You've always been a very rational person, you've never been mad. Never, he observed suddenly with warmth. All right, shall drink. Goodbye. And he moved to go out. I was talking with my sister the day before yesterday. I think it was about you, Razumikin. About me? Well, where can you have seen her the day before yesterday? Razumikin stopped short and even turned a little pale. His heart was throbbing slowly and violently. She came here by herself, sat there and talked to me. She did? Yes. Oh, what did you say to her? I mean, about me? I told her you were a very good, honest, and industrious man. I didn't tell her you love her because she knows that herself. She knows that herself? Well, it's pretty clear. Wherever I go, whatever happens to me, you will remain to look after them. I, so to speak, give them into your keeping, Razumiki. I say this because I know quite well how you love her, and I'm convinced of the purity of your heart. I know that she may love you, and perhaps does love you already. Now decide for yourself, as free as you know better. Well, going for a drinking bout or not. Rudia! Oh, you see, well, damn it. But where do you intend to go? Of course, if it's all a secret, never mind, but I shall find out the secret. And I'm sure that it must be some ridiculous nonsense that you made it all up. Anyway, you're a wonderful person, a wonderful person. That was just what I wanted to add, only you interrupted. That was a very good decision of yours not to find out these secrets. Leave it to time. Don't worry about it. You know it all in time when it's all revealed. Yesterday a man said to me that what a man needs is fresh air. Fresh air, fresh air. I intend to go to him directly to find out what he meant. Razumikin stood lost in thought and excitement, taking a silent conclusion. He's a political conspirator. It must be. And he's on the eve of some desperate step, that's certain. It can only be that. And Dunya knows, he thought suddenly. So, Avdotya Romanovna comes to see you. So, Avdotya Romanovna comes to see you, he said, waiting at each syllable. And you are going to see a man who says we need more air. And so, of course, that letter, that too must have something to do with it, he concluded to himself. What letter? Oh, she got a letter today. It upset her very much indeed. Too much? So I started talking about you. She begged me not to. Then she said that perhaps we should very soon have to part. Then she began warmly thanking me for something. Then she went to her room and locked herself in. She got a letter? Raskolnikov asked thoughtfully. Yes, and you didn't know? They were both silent. Ah, well, goodbye, Rodion. There was a time, my friend, when never mind. Goodbyes. There's no need now. We're all stupid. I must be off too. I'm not going to drink, but whatever. See you. Goodbye. He hurried out, but when he had almost closed the door behind him, he suddenly opened it again and said, looking away, "Oh, by the way, do you remember that murder? You know, Porphyry's, that old woman. You know the murder has been found, has confessed and given the proofs. It's one of those workmen, the painter, just imagine. You remember I defended them here? Would you believe it? That whole scene of fighting and laughing with his companion on the stairs while the porter and the two witnesses were going up? He put on deliberately to disarm suspicion. The cunning, the presence of mind that little dog had. I can hardly be credited. But it's his own explanation. He has confessed it all. And what a fool I was about it. Well, he's simply a genius of hypocrisy and resourcefulness in disarming the suspicions of the lawyers. So there's nothing much to wonder at, I suppose. Of course, people like that are always possible, and the fact that he couldn't keep up with the character, but confessed, making it easier to believe in. But what a fool I was frantically supporting them. Tell me, please, who did you hear that from, and what did it interest you so much? Raskolnikov asked with unmistakable agitation. What next? You ask me why it interests me? Well, I heard it from Porphyry, among others. It was from him I heard almost everything about it. From Porphyry? From Porphyry. What did he say? Raskolnikov asked in dismay. He gave me a brilliant explanation of it, psychologically, after his fashion. He explained it himself? Yes. Now, goodbye. I'll tell you about it another time, but now I'm busy. There was a time when I imagined, but no matter, another time. What need is there for me to drink now? You made me drunk without wine. I am drunk, Rhodia. Oh, goodbye. I'm going now. I'll come again see you very soon. He went out. He's a political conspirator, there's no doubt about it, Razumikin decided as he slowly descended the stairs. And he's drawn his sister in. That's entirely in keeping with that Dr. Romanovna's character. There are meetings between them. She hinted at it too. So many of her words and hints have implied that. And how else can this whole tangle be explained? I'm almost thinking, goodness, what was I thinking? Yes, I took leave of my senses and I wronged. I wasn't his doing under the lamp in the corridor that day. Huh, what a crude, nasty, vile idea on my part. Nikolai's a real godsend for confessing. How clear everything is now. His illness then, all his strange actions, before this in the university, how pessimistic he used to be, how gloomy. But what's the meaning of that letter? There's something in that too, perhaps. Who was it from, I suspect? No, I must find out. No, wait, that entire dialogue was Razumikin, my bad. I read it in Raskolnikov's voice. He's drawn his sister in, that's entirely in keeping with Dr. Romanovna's character. There are meetings between them. She hinted at it too. So many of her words and hints have implied that. And how else this whole tangle will be explained, And I was thinking, goodness, what was I thinking? Yes, I took my leave of my senses and I wronged him. It was his doing under the lamp in the corridor that day. Whew. What a crude, nasty, vile idea on my part. Nikolai is a real godsend for confessing. And how clear everything is. His illness then, all his strange actions. Before this in the university, how pessimistic he used to be, how gloomy. But what's the meaning now of that letter? There's something in that too, perhaps. Who was it from? I suspect... No, I must find out. He thought of Dunia, realizing everything he had heard, and his heart throbbed. And he suddenly broke into a run. As soon as Razumikin went out, Raskolnikov got up, turned up to the window, walked from one corner to another, as though forgetting the smallness of his room, and sat down again on the sofa. It felt, so to speak, renewed. Again the struggle, so a means of escape had come. Yes, a means of escape had come. It had been so stifling, too cramping. The burden had been agonizing. A lethargy that had come upon him at times. From the moment of the scene with Nikolai at Porphyry, he had been suffocating, and without any hope of escape. After Nikolai's confession on that very day, had come to the scene with Sonia. His behavior and his last words had been utterly unlike anything he could have imagined beforehand. He had grown feebler, instantly and fundamentally, and he had agreed at the time with Sonia. He had agreed in his heart he could not go on living alone with such a thing on his mind. As Svidrigailov was the riddle. He worried him, that was true, but somehow not on the same point. He might still have a struggle to come with Svidrigailov. Svidrigailov, too, might be a means of escape, but Porfiry was a different matter. And so Porfiry himself had explained it to Razumikin, had explained it psychologically. The punctuation of this page is very shit. I don't know who's talking now. And so Porfiry himself had explained to Razumikin, had explained it psychologically. He had started bringing his damn psychology again. Porfiry. But to think that Porfiry would for a moment believe that Nikolai was guilty after it had passed between them before Nikolai's appearance after that one-on-one interview, which could have only one explanation. During those days, Raskolnikov had often recalled passages in that scene with Porfiry. He could not bear to let his mind rest in. Such words, such gestures had passed between them. They had exchanged such glances. Things had been said in such a tone and had reached such a pass that Nikolai, whom Porfiry had been true at the first word and the first gesture, could not have shaken his conviction. And to think that even Razumikin had begun to suspect. The scene in the corridor under the lamp had produced its effect then. He had rushed to Porfiry. What had induced the latter to receive him like that? What had been his aim in putting Razumikin off with Nikolai? He must have some plan. There was some design, but what was it? It was true that a long time had passed since that morning, too long a time, and no sight or sound of Porfiry. Well, that was a bad sign. Raskolnikov took his cap and went out of the room, still pondering. It was the first time for a long while that he had felt clear in his mind. At least I must settle Svidrigailov, he thought, and as soon as possible. He too seems to be waiting for me to come in of my own accord. And at that moment there was such a rush of hate in his weary heart that he might have killed either of those two, Porfiry or Svidrigailov. At least he felt that he would be capable of doing it later, if not now. We shall see, he repeated to himself. But no sooner had he opened the door than he stumbled upon Porfiry himself in the passage. He was coming to see him. Raskolnikov was dumbfounded for a minute, but only for a minute. Strange to say, he was not very astonished to see Porfiry, and was scarcely even afraid of him. He was simply startled, but was instantly on his guard. Perhaps this will mean what the end, but how could Porfiry have approached so quietly like a cat? So would he hear nothing? Could he have been listening at the door? Ah, you didn't expect a visitor, Rodion Romanovich, Porfiry explained, laughing. I've been looking for you in a long time. I was passing by and thought, why not go in for 5 minutes? Are you going out? I won't keep you long, just let me have one cigarette. Sit down, Porfiry Petrovich, sit down. Raskolnikov gave his visitor a seat with so pleased and friendly expression that he would have marveled at himself if he could have seen it. The final moment had come. The last drops had to be drained. So a man will sometimes go through half an hour of mortal terror with a brigand, yet when the knife is at his throat at last, he feels no fear. Raskolnikov seated himself directly facing Porfiry and looked at him without flinching. Porfiry screwed up his eyes and began lighting up a cigarette. Say something, say something. It seemed as though it would burst from Raskolnikov's heart. Come on, why aren't you saying it? And that is it for our book reading of today. We completed our ID study, which wasn't much of an ID study because it is G Corp Altis. We failed our mirror dungeon, unfortunately, because she couldn't keep up with Papa Bongi and the Marcho Chicken, the Mega Bongis, and we did our book reading. So that is all for today, my friends. Thank you all so much for being here. If you enjoyed the stream, please recommend it to your friends, but if you didn't, recommend it to your enemies. If you wish to give some support for the channel, please consider leaving a like, a comment, a subscribe, all that good stuff. With all that said, thank you all so much again, sweet kisses, and goodbye.